Let's bring in Maryland Democratic Congressman Glenn Ivey. Congressman, welcome to you, sir. What is your message to folks like Aaron, folks that are worried that they are pawns for a government that is not looking out for them nor their best interests?
Well, it's a fair concern for sure. And, we saw just on Friday, Senate Republicans joined with Senate Democrats, sent a bill over, as you mentioned earlier on your report, unanimous consent. Everybody agreed to it, would have, allowed people to start getting paid immediately. House Republicans, led by Speaker Johnson, said that was DOA from the start, and then passed another bill that didn't match it up, and then left town. So, I think the message really needs to be for Senate Republicans and House Republicans to get on the same page and figure out what they're going to do. And by the way, the White House, I'm glad the president is talking about trying to get the pay done, although he needs to make sure he gets people paid in full. But he also needs to step in and take a leadership role on closing this deal between the House and Senate Republicans so they can move forward. And the White House has put some things on the table, too, that weren't in either of these agreements. So the Republicans need to get their act together.
Congressman, you may not have been hooked up yet when I was talking with Jake Sherman, and he gave this laundry list of things that need to be done. First and foremost, getting lawmakers back to Washington. Have you heard anything about being called back from recess or it being abbreviated?
I have not. I know that the House Democrats are ready to come back at the drop of a hat. We had the same thing, back a few months ago with respect to that. In fact, we came back to town on a couple of instances because the speaker kept us out. I want to say it was like 50 plus days, without bringing us back to have any legislative activity. Hopefully they're not going to repeat that again. Let's come back. Let's get the votes done. But before you bring everybody back, Senate Republicans, House Republicans, White House, work out an agreement among yourselves and stop fighting with each other so we can move forward with the deal.
Oftentimes when I speak with lawmakers, they talk about how the public persona is one thing, but yet in the hallways, when you talk with friends on the other side of the aisle, there is a consensus agreement. Do you find that at all in this case? Are Republicans at all veering away from what President Trump is clearly dictating to Mike Johnson to do in the House, or is there unanimity there?
I think it's a mixed bag. The feedback I got was that the Freedom Caucus balked at the Senate deal and basically pressed the speaker into rejecting it and then coming back with another package that was different. And you've heard the rhetoric around it. It didn't do all the things that they wanted them to do. And, ICE was going to get defunded or, some of the silly things that they're putting out there because ICE has a $75 billion fund out of the bill, H.R. 1, the big ugly bill is what I call it. So, they're putting a lot of misinformation out there. But at the end of the day, I think Republicans are feeling heat, too, when they go back home. Their people want to be able to get through these lines and not have to get to the airport 4, 5, 6 hours before their flight's supposed to leave. So let's get it done.
The shutdown is now the longest in U.S. history. So have Democrats gotten anything out of this thus far?
Well, there have been no deals yet, so there's nothing that's come from a deal. But I think the ICE issue is certainly prominent in a way that it wasn't a few months ago. I think that's part of the reason Secretary Noem got forced out. I think it's also part of the reason the White House has stepped forward and said they'll put some things on the table. I think before she left, she was talking about partially, putting body cameras on people and maintaining the footage. So steps in the right direction. But I got to say, the things Democrats are holding out for on this front are pretty standard fare. I mean, police departments across the country, they don't wear ICE. They identify themselves. They don't have racial profiling. They get search warrants before they go into people's houses. All of those kinds of things, many of which are required by the Constitution. That's what we're pushing for. So I don't think it's too much for us to ask that the administration follow the Constitution and provide these basic protections.
Congressman Glenn Ivey, thank you for your time, sir.